Hello guys and welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. Once again I'm Greg and this is the Starting 11 show in which I will try and predict what team Frank Lampard might put out. Still early knockings of the season here, so a few things are still up in the air and there is a few changes to go through from last time out. Mina and Godfrey of course won't be available. Both of them went off during the last game injured. Typical luck for us, of course Mina was going to go off injured. Godfrey's a bigger blow. There's a few injuries now in the early stages of his career that could be quite worrying. We don't want him to go the same way as Mina, but neither of those available at centre-back. Flip side of that coin, and very luckily, Cody, registered, will be able to play. The fact that he can start mitigates our problems in that area big time. Also able to start is Onana, our other new signing, which is great news. One more, Solomon Rondon, is over his suspension. He served his suspension from last game, which means we could start with a striker up top. One interesting thing to pick up on from Lampard's press conference, though, is the wording he kept using in we want to get the sharpest players on the pitch. He kept focusing on players that hadn't had enough minutes. He said with Rondon, specifically when asked if he'd start, that a few players aren't totally match ready. He wants to start people who have had enough minutes. It's the same language he used talking about Alan and Coleman last time, who I think are still a few minutes away. He didn't expound on that at all during the press conference. He was quite coy in what he said, as he always is. I don't think that's the worst thing in terms of giving away to other managers. It's very annoying for me. It makes my job very hard in predicting the lineup. But it seems things are still up in the air, as I said, so players coming off the back of pre-season still haven't had enough minutes. They haven't got into their flow yet, and it's going to take a little while into the season until everyone's match fit. Everyone's pulling in the same direction, so we can only go with what we know. That being said, I'll stick with the same formation as last time, but we will have to change around the personnel slightly. Pickford in goal, of course. Right wing back will be Patterson again. I still can't see Coleman being fit enough. I think he started, didn't he, for the under-23s last time. That would suggest he's still needing to get his fitness up. The next stage would be to get a few minutes later on in knockings in the first team. So I think we still start with Patterson right wing back. There's a whole other debate to be had there as to who should be starting anyway this season. Back three, of course, Tarkowski keeps his space. And then he will be joined by Connor Cody, the new signing, and Mason Holgate. That's pretty much our best options, in my opinion. Mykolenko will be left wing back. Here's the first big question really is, what do we change with the midfield to? With Onana only just fresh coming in, how does that work with Lampard's philosophy on match readiness and minutes? Will he be happy that Onana has got to grips with how we want to play and what we need to do? I don't think Doucouré and Iwobi looked too bad as a partnership against Chelsea. Other than the penalty, we looked quite strong defensively. Is there a problem with those two midfielders in terms of connecting defence and attack? We didn't look like we were getting the ball forward fast enough. My question here, as I said, I'm not sure Onana plays just yet. I don't think Lampard will be happy that he's been brought into the fold enough. I think he's going to want to have some more time to go through tactical analysis and get him pulling in the same direction as everyone else. So for now, I'm going to stick with Doucouré and Iwobi. I'm not sure about the fitness of Alan, so I can't say on that front. But that could very much change. You could see Onana in there. You could see Alan in there. And then the next part of the pitch, of course, the front line. I think we still have McNeil out on the right and Gray out on the left. The question then is, does Rondon fit straight in? And it's just that one answer that Lampard gave that makes me think no, that he hasn't had enough minutes, that he's not had enough pre-season, and of course he couldn't get any minutes against Chelsea. So I think we probably keep Gordon up there. I know it didn't look great against Chelsea. He was struggling as a striker. I don't think it's his best position at all, of course. The only other debate is whether we go with Dele Alli false nine. I talked about that maybe being a possibility at the start of last game. But I think Lampard will stick with what he went with last time. He seems to be that kind of manager, and I think we'll see Gordon stay up front and then Rondon come on later in the game if we're chasing a goal. and it'll be more of a reactive thing than a proactive thing. So I think that's what the team will look like. Pickford, Patterson, Tarkowski, Cody, Holgate and Mikalenko. Iwobi and Decore, but I wouldn't be angry to see Onana in there. This is more what I think we'll go with than what I think our best team is. And then the front line, of course, McNeil, Gordon and Gray. What do you think? Do we need to be integrating Onana as soon as possible? How do you feel about that back line? There's, of course, 2 Premier League captains in there from last season, and both of them that we got for free. Would you start Rondon straight away? Let me know all of these things. Let me know what your lineup would look like, and hopefully we've got a better springboard with a win next time to go out and say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.